Hey team, welcome to my session on Coffee with Prabh, and today we're going to discuss about the exam summary of Domain 7 Security Operation of CISSP. This is the most important domain of CISSP after the Domain 1. You can say like that, Domain 1 tactical part cover in the Domain 7. Okay, so before going to start this video, if you're new to my YouTube channel, click on the subscribe button and bell icon to make sure you should not miss my future videos. And my name is Prabh Nair. For more information, you can refer my LinkedIn profile. Thank you. So without wasting a time, let's start with the first part. Domain 7, when you're talking about security operation, I have seen a lot of people who even leading a SOC positions or they're heading a SOC manager positions, they try to relate their organization SOC experience when they're going for the real exam. When they're practicing some questions and all that, they relate that question with their organization scenario. The first important fundamental rule to understand this Domain 7 is that please come out from your SOC organization experience. It's very important for you, because if you carry your organization SOC experience in your real exam, definitely you will fail this exam. Because in the Domain 7, it is not written according to what is happening in your organization. And I have a lot of evidence which clearly say that, okay, people has failed because of this reason. So first rule is that come out from your organization experience and see what is there in the CISSP Domain 7. When you're reading this domain, it looks very simple. Oh wow, incident management, forensic investigation, change management. But how they're going to frame the question in the real exam, you have no idea. So that is why do not take this domain for granted. After the Domain 1, anything which is important and because of which you want to pass this exam is the Domain 7. In Domain 7, it starts with forensic investigations. They also follow one Locard exchange principle, where the intruder basically takes something with them and leaves something there. So that principle is actually followed in the forensic investigation. So as a CISSP aspirant, you need to know what is forensic investigation and what is the process of forensic investigation. In forensic investigation, the process we have called first step is collection, where we collect the data from the media, then we examine for the duplicacy, then we do analysis, and then we do the investigation. Whenever any incident happens, the first thing what we do, we basically remove the cable, or first we confirm the incident and remove the cable, and then we do the bit by bit image of the system. So you need to know this kind of a process. So bit by bit image we basically do in the forensic investigation. Remember that, okay? We never do the investigation on the live evidence. We do the investigation on the copy of the evidence. So forensic investigation is very important. You need to know the chain of custody versus chain of evidence. Chain of custody talk about who handled the evidence, and chain of evidence basically talk about the sequence in which we have obtained the evidence. So chain of custody is very important to submit in the court along with the evidence. Then the next part, we have a forensic field kit. We have a different type of forensic investigation, network based, system based, software based. So this is the different type of investigations we have that we need to understand. Then we talk about a different type of investigations, very, very important. In CBK, it is mentioned in the Domain 1, I believe, new syllabus. So in investigation, we have an administrative, which is internal to the organization. Then we have a civil, then we have a regulatory, then we have a criminal investigation. So it's very important for you to know the investigation type. Then we have a topic called DLP, data loss preventions, their challenges and implementation. One important tips, whenever we're talking about DLP, we cannot able to protect all the data. We need to classify the data. So data sensitivity play a very important role when you implementing a DLP. And DLP basically ensure the prevention of exfiltration of a data. It ensures the data should not leave in an unauthorized manner. So DLP use case is very important for the exam. DLP applied in data at rest, data in use, and data in transit. It used to protect the DRM contents and everything. So it used with DRM as a compensatory control. So that is important. Then we have a next topic which is called as a SIM, aggregate data from all the source. Fastest way to respond to the incident. So SIM is very important for the exam. That is another important topic. SIM integration is very important. Correlation of SIM logs are very important, and NTP protocol play a very important role. Then we talk about log management is also there. So timely collecting a logs or correlating a log is a primary goal of a log management. That is another important topic. Then we have an incident management process. In the incident management process, the first step is detecting the incident, responding to the incident, reporting the incident, remediate, lesson learn. Okay, so these are the steps we have. You must know the thin line difference between the incident management and problem management. So incident management objective is to reduce the impact. Problem management objective is to track the root cause. Then we also talk about the patch management. There is a one dedicated video I made on a patch management. Please make sure you should review that video. Maintaining a consistent patch across the organization, that is the goal we have. Change management, their process is very important in the exam. That video is also there in a YouTube. Make sure you should watch that video. Trust me, it will really helpful. So change management, patch management, good understanding is required. Then we have IDS and IPS. IDS is basically have a two type, HIDS, NIDS. The most advanced, we have a network behavior analysis engine by which we analyze the data. Connecting with the switch required the span port, so it can able to capture the traffic from all the source. So you need to know the NIDS and NIPS use case also. Then we talk about the RAID type, RAID, redundant area of independent disk, which is introduced to improve the read and write operation of the data. So there is a video I made on the RAID. You can refer that. Remember that RAID 1.0 is better than 0.1. In RAID, we talk about striping, mirroring, and parity. So that understanding is required for the exam. Then we talk about the backup types, incremental backup, differential backup. Okay, their use cases is important in the exam. Then we also talk about electronic vaulting, journaling, offsite backup storage, remote mirroring. These are also the backup strategies, very important for you to know from the exam point of view. Then we also talk about the different type of sites. Okay, based on a BIA, we go for the site, redundant site, hot site, warm site, mobile site, reciprocal agreements. Very important for you to know that. Along with that, when you're talking about, small tip here is, when it comes to hot site, it is very difficult, it is very expensive to maintain. But if the question is specifically talking about which type of site is very expensive for testing, then answer is cold site. So cold site is very expensive for testing because we need to move all the operation there. Then we're talking about the different type of testing of the DR plan. That is also very important, in which we talk about walkthrough, simulation, parallel test, full interruption test. So these are the type of testing we have. Then we basically talk about ultimate goal of DR testing the plan. Ultimate objective is to validate the effectiveness. Then threat intelligence is a new important point which is added in the CISSP. One of the most important thing in the threat intelligence, we need to know about the threat feeds. Threat feed mean from the source from which you're collecting data. So integrity play a very important role here. So that is another important thing. And overall incident management framework, NIST based incident management framework, you can refer the document checklist, you can refer so you get a better visibility. Then we also talk about different type of logs. Process of breaking a log is called as a lock picking. So these are the important topics we have that you need to know from a domain 7 point of view. Do not ignore any topic in domain 7. Whatever the topics I have talked about in this session, make sure you should have a very good understanding about these topics. Okay, refer the CBK 6 edition, you get a better visibility. This is all from my side. If you find this video useful, do click on the like button. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, click on the subscribe button and bell icon to make sure you should not miss my future videos. Do let me know what is the next video you want me to make, on the coffee shots or something like that. Thank you for watching my video. Goodbye.